Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome to Hangout with Her World. And today we have Daphne Iking. Yes, looks like we're gonna have to wait till everyone's in. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hello. Yeah, just to recap, I think I think about 3 different Blue Ink magazines have already gone live this morning. Majalah Jelita had Professor Mohaya. So if you have time and you want to watch the live again, I think you can go to their Instagram account, Majalah Jelita. And Harper's Bazaar also had a live session. They spoke to Melinda Lui and her efforts to help with our frontliners. So that's Harper's Bazaar MY. And Clio Malaysia, I think they're still on. They're having a makeup session with a makeup artist, Noraini face designer. I think I'm not sure if I got that right. And New You Malaysia will be on later as well. So catch us all live now since we're all staying at home. And yes, my daughter is saying hi to me and she's on the phone. She's telling me, okay, hi guys, thanks for joining us. Hi Michelle. Hi Joe. My auntie is online too. Hi Bibi Azwan. Thanks for joining. Okay, I'm waiting for Daphne Iking to come online. Let me just hi Nida. Let's see. Okay, I think Daphne is also going to try and be live on her YouTube. I see a lot of supporters today. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, we're going to... Yeah, hi Manshan. Yes, Daphne has joined. Daphne, please send request for us to go live. And then we can start our session. Waiting. Okay. Anyway, so I'm just going to share a bit why I chose to speak about intentions and compassion. I think while we're all at home, constantly on our socials and constantly being bombarded with different messages. Okay, let me just see. Wait, I think she's coming. We are waiting for Daphne, but I think to talk about... Oh, there she is!
Hello! Hi! Okay,
Hi.
we are live on both YouTube as well as your IG.
Do you need to call me on Skype?
Oh,
No?
that's a good idea.
Okay.
That is a good idea. Let's do that first.
Okay, hi guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming in. Yes, I don't know what Daphne's trying to get this like on both platforms so you can watch it on here now, and
We're
you can
calling
watch
you
it
now
on her YouTube
over
as well.
Skype.
Wah, cantiknya Daphne. Alhamdulillah, cantiknya kawan I tu.
You know, that's a funny thing. You know, there was a recent furor, right, with regards to the ministry setting up a poster. Oh, you need to answer our Skype, by the way.
Answer the call.
Oh, sorry. Wait, missed call. Okay. Call again.
Okay, let's do this first.
One by one then. Okay, Cik Huzaimah, please answer your call.
Stress apa punya producer. Hello everyone.
Okay, jawab. Okay. All right. Now, we are live everywhere.
Perfect.
Okay, wait. I need to... How do I mute this?
This is the first time actually, and probably for Ina's side too, that we are cross-living, cross-recording over 2 platforms, one on YouTube, one on IG Live. So let's see how better our technology is.
Okay. I like the guy in the hat behind you.
He reminds me of my Thomas and Friends top hat. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I think your boy is too old for that already lah.
Okay, is it my connection? My connection or your connection? You're breaking up a bit.
Is it breaking up? My side okay.
Okay, maybe it's mine. I don't know. I have a lot of people using the Wi-Fi, at home now.
The kids lah must be.
Yes. Okay, so Daphne, we're going to talk about intention and compassion. But I think I texted you earlier today, and I messaged you to say, let's set our intention before we start this.
That's right.
Before
I
we
think that's
chat.
a beautiful way of kickstarting the session.
So, my intention is to mainly do this live to spread positivity, to share as much hope, to share as much compassion, to share as much understanding and kindness. So that is my main intention. So if it gets out there and if someone comes out of watching us chat a little bit more hopeful today, a little bit more
This is a picture you want to put?
calmer, I would say that, it would have fulfilled my intention thoroughly. What is your intention for joining me, Daphne?
I think when we first discussed this, actually we've been wanting to always have a platform where we can cross-market each other. So this is a great way for in doing this, and also
There is an echo.
there's an echo. On whose side? My side, is it?
I already mute you here.
Switch off the mic. Your mic totally.
Which mic?
Your iPhone mic.
Okay, like that. That
Yeah.
she cannot hear me lah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
She can hear you through this one lah. Through what she talking to you now.
Sorry guys, to all those viewers who are watching us
Yeah.
initially. Yeah, that's it. I've gone as low can be.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to listen to YouTube now? Switch off totally your mic.
But that is my IG.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what I've done.
Jo, I don't want to. Dekat sangat muka Jo. Takut.
No, I can hear her.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're using this platform where we are cross-collaborating. I think we've always wanted to talk about that, and now we're doing it.
Wow.
And we're doing it, and at the same time, I've got my messages of love and compassion and kindness that I want to ensure we get across. And it's quite timely that you are doing this interview and you have the same subject. So my intention is that hopefully susah sikit nak compassionate sikit nak macam set my attention tapi dia
What do you listen to on YouTube?
dia stress. Maybe we don't have to do live lah. We just go live on Eena je.
Is it?
But yours is muted, right? Eena?
Mine is muted. Yeah, I can't hear you on my laptop. Yeah.
How about the viewers? Hi, James. What's important is your IG live. How's everyone there? Is there double sound?
No,
on
I think IG Live is okay, guys.
Let's see the comment.
We can hear you both. Okay.
On YouTube there is. Okay. I don't know. I don't know how to do this. I've already muted this. Sorry. We did try this on earlier on. But I'm not sure what's happening.
One has to end.
Then we end ours.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna end our YouTube live, and we're gonna go.
Please come to Her World Instagram and Daphne
hopefully.
IG. You can still watch it on Daphne's IG.
Yeah, we will try and find a way to record screen. Okay, now that we are clearer, they're clear. Okay. It's just our side that's not clear. So go ahead. I'll leave it to you now. Now that it's just one channel.
Yeah. So I want you to set your intention, Daphne.
Okay. My intentions is, first and foremost, I need to calm down, because this whole, as much as I appreciate the fact that I've got this setup that I've wanted to do with my business partner for the longest time, I guess we're putting just too much together. So setting my intention to just first and foremost calm down, and to be mindful of feelings around me, and that was also addressing him. And I think that's why it's so important. See, I'm jumping again. My purpose is to be able to create peace at heart and to be mindful of not just my words, my actions, but the emotions that are lingering around me right now as we are confined, safe at home. Yes.
Okay.
So I need to be mindful about that.
Yes.
Yes.
So one of the reasons why I always look at intentions, especially I'm a big self-help book reader, self-confessed self-help book reader, and I'm a big Oprah fan. So people know me; they may know from my editor's note that I always speak or talk about what Oprah's lessons have taught me. So one of the things that I really took to heart was when I read this: intention precedes every thought and every action, and the outcome of your experiences is determined by the intention. I think, a lot of people forget that the niyat that we have is really what affects not so much other people, but affects us.
Right.
Because there was once I shared with a friend who was going through something. I said, when you're dealing with something, you always think that you're affecting the other person. You're so worried that you're affecting the other person. But in all truth, I think, or this is my personal opinion, it really is about how it affects you. So this is something that I picked up as well. I think Professor Mohaya said this morning as well. A lot of our actions, we forget how it affects us.
Right.
As much as we worry how it would affect someone else.
So we're worried first and foremost about ourselves first, is it?
No. We always think that, we always like, oh, I buat macam ni, apa orang nak kata, right?
Oh, paham.
Paham. Or, yeah. But really, when you look at it, it really is how it's going to affect you. I think that is the basic of intentions. So that's why I said, I wanted to talk to you about this, because a lot of people, I think when we, I wrote my editor's note recently on our website, and I said, we always have the best intentions, always, but not necessarily other people can handle or read our intentions the way we intended it.
Because everyone's diverse,
okay?
Everyone has different exposures, everyone has different mindsets.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But can you handle your own intention or not? Right? So, I mean, so that's one of the things sometimes when I comment or something, or I share something. Now, I'm very, very careful since we've been staying at home, since the whole restricted movement, Initially, I was excited to share the breakfast, to share what I cooked, how many times I worked out, And then I did a bit of self-reflection, and I realized, as much as my intention was just to put out something to cheer, in hopes to cheer somebody up, but was it about that somebody or was it about me?
Actually, it's very interesting that you say this, because I used to work out and post a lot of my workout pictures. But then when I started seeing other people do the same thing, and it was quite similar, of course, badan dorang gempak sikit lah. I sort of went,
Yeah.
And then it made me realize, kalau if I feel that way and yet I do it, maybe orang lain pun tak suka what I post up. So I'm careful. But then I realized as I stopped putting those posts up, I jadi malas sikit nak work out. So when I know. So I actually had a word with another trainer on this, and I said, You know, it's odd because I used to do all these yoga. I had to commit myself to these yoga practices because I wanted to ensure that I would be posting it up on my social media. Because then, you know, I have it's called accountability. That's what she said. She said, well, you're doing it for accountability, so that you have to post it. You have to do it, then you can post it. But if macam alah today tak ada lah, tak ada, you know, I tak ada mood nak exercise, never mind lah, people will miss me anyway. You know what I mean? So when she put it that way, when she addressed it that way, then I don't feel so bad anymore. I don't feel as if I'm not being cringy. It's helping me work out. I used to do like my yoga poses like almost every single day, and then I stopped completely, and then my whole practice just went down the drain. And then I started picking it up again, hit, running, etc. And I start posting bits and pieces just to make me feel, you know, like, look, I've done it. Be proud of yourself. Pat on the back. And I also attended this course late last year where you need to reward yourself for the mini goals that you achieve in your life. So it's not so much about showing off. It's also about rewarding yourself, like you did something good, right? And you know. So again, it boils down to that niyat. It's true. It's that intention. What exactly is it? Is it to show off? You know. But for me, if it feels right inside and I feel, look, I'm accountable, I have done my run, I pat on my back. It was so hard for me to get up this morning with all the craziness, and I went for a run despite it all. I deserve to post this up on my IG story or on my feed and say, well done, Daphne, you did it. But of course,
but you know, you have to be, you know, if you've already set the intention for yourself, I feel then you need to be able to handle the consequences of that posting, even though your intention was for you, right? Okay. So sometimes I think people forget, you know, because we are so set up like, oh, but I just posted it for me, you know, I want to me. But there will be other people who will read it differently, and whether we can handle, you know, what consequences that comes with it.
And I think that's where compassion comes in.
Yes.
When we start, especially now, well, actually, ironically, I have less time on social media compared to then, because of the budak semua kena jaga everything. But it goes back to being compassionate about when you see something and you read something that may not quite gel with your ideology or your thoughts. That's when the compassionate part comes in. Like, wait a minute. Why do you think she wrote it this way? Where's she coming from?
Yeah.
So we have to be we have to show empathy in that sense.
Yes.
I think. So it's quite damn girl. She like you put intentions and compassion together. It's like, yeah.
So you know, I asked my teenage son today. Right. I said, what do you understand is compassion? Yeah. And he just gave me one answer that he said, Mommy, compassion is human nature. We're born with it. And that just blew my mind, because it's like, oh my God, how can we all forget that?
Your son, your children, both are on different level, Eena.
Maybe, apa, orang Melayu kata menurun.
So
you know, so, you know, then that it made me realize that, yes, we are born with compassion. We human beings naturally have compassion.
Where did it go? When the nasties start happening, all the meanies come in. People who you think you fell in love with and were the kindest, nicest, sweetest souls can suddenly be 180 flip. Like, what the hell just happened to all the compassion that you had? The person that I fell in love with, the person that I used to know, my sister, for instance. Not that my sister had any problem, but yes. You know what I mean? What happened to the compassion?
I think it's lack of practice.
Wow.
Because everything we do, really everything we do takes one, discipline, two, it takes practice. There's nothing that we do that we want to get good at, even though we are born with it or it comes naturally, that doesn't take discipline and doesn't take practice. So
true.
yeah.
And I guess
So
some people have a natural flair for being kind and compassionate, positive, and all these good traits, while some people have different coping mechanisms. I don't know. I know that I can tolerate shit really high.
yeah.
People are like, you're too forgiving, which they think it's a weakness, but I think it helps me survive a lot of shit on my end.
You know, one thing I do believe that when people can handle a lot of, you know, hardship, or, you know, are very forgiving, that it's, you know, that it's some superpower or something like that. I don't think it's that some superpower. I think it really is the level of compassion and the way we understand what compassion is, and life experience.
Life
It really
experience. I
is.
think
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
it.
yeah. Because the more you live life and you actually self-reflect and learn from it, I mean, you can live life every day and just go around and around and just get through life. But if you
Yeah.
don't self-reflect, sit down, give yourself 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or take half a day to self-reflect, you don't learn from that lesson. And then it becomes harder for you to be compassionate, I feel.
And I think that's why it's so important to have your quiet time alone. It really is important. I know some people say, but I don't meditate. I don't. It doesn't have to be meditation per se, where you see it like, oh, Zen, whatever. But
Oh, no, yeah.
it's your each and their own way of doing it. Maybe
Yeah,
by prayers or just being
yeah.
still. Like, I
So
don't know.
yeah, I mean, you know, as much as I read self-help and I love the idea of mindfulness, and I love the idea of meditation, but I'm bad at meditation because my otak is the type that, you know, I can think about something and it just goes off. So I've learned that my sense of meditation is um, self-talk, either self-talk or talk to God, you know. I mean, prayer is prayer. Yes, you know, you do salat and everything like that. But if we are, you know, I don't want to get all hyper into spirituality and things like that. But if we want to really have some sort of relief, just talk. You know, if we believe that God is there, just talk. You know, you don't need something to nudge you to do that, I think. So that's my sort of meditation that I pick up, I do on a daily basis. I can't do the sit down and be quiet and be still. I cannot. That one I still
It does
lack.
take a practice, or it does take a
Yes,
while. It
that
took me years
I
before I
lack
finally had it.
practice in that sense. Yeah. So I want to talk a bit about, you know, I hope you don't mind me bringing this up, because when we
Yeah.
started the whole stay at home thing, I don't even like to call it movement restriction order or something. It feels so tense,
Confined,
you know, it
restricted.
feels, yeah. So I feel like every time I try to, I'll say, you know, I have a thing where I don't like to have negative words.
That's why it
I
says
feel like,
staying safe at home.
yeah.
I
So,
use
you know,
that
while we're
instead.
staying at home, staying safe at home, you know, I remember one of the first day, is it, that you went out,
Oh
right?
well, I think it was a few days after. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was a few days, and then there was a bit of backlash about you going out because you had your kids with you.
Okay, so just a recap to those of you who just joined us, I posted on IG story, me and the kids, Azmi was driving, and I said I'm gonna go out and we're gonna go and grab some food.
Yeah.
And then the second story came, and Azmi was looking for his kway teow goreng, and then that was it. Okay, so a few actually DM me and started bashing me, saying like, oh, you can't do that, you know, you are going out with your family, yada yada yada, because I actually posted it. And then I said, oh man, we didn't think, you know,
Yeah.
because for me, which now I will say publicly, I actually I needed to go for a medical checkup. My helper's not around, and my husband, though we really like to think that my daughter, the eldest girl, will be able to look after her 3-year-old brother, sorry. Yeah, we were a little bit skeptical. So he took the whole bang, dropped me off the hospital. I went for my appointment, and then of course he had to pick me up because our father over here too busy with this technology set up for my live YouTube. He forgot about dinner. So I said, it's okay, let's just grab it. Found out Grab was no longer delivering because I think they were like packed to the brim.
Yeah.
So we went, so there was a lot chopped out. And I can understand why people were upset, because I left that going to the medical, and Joe actually just dropped me off and he went back home with the kids, and then he picked it up. So I missed out that large portion because I didn't want to make a big deal of my medical checkup. But then that's when I realized people started bashing, and then I'm like, okay, then I had to explain myself. Not so much defend, but just explain myself, because I didn't want people fighting, and I don't want people to think that this is encouraging other people to go out suka hati ruang, you know. So yes, now that's just a recap to those who may have missed that sandiwara. Continuing.
So you know, I was honest with Daphne, you know, when I contacted you, remember? And I told her, I said, you know, even I was first I was alarmed, you know. I think it's natural human sort of, you know, instinct, because we know there's a fear, and then we knew the magnitude of the fear out there, and then I was alarmed, and then I had that instant judgment, which I really, really dislike about what happened. You know, that thought, you know.
With the situation or with your thought?
Yeah, with your, no, because I thought that of, like, you know, I said, hey, how could Daphne do that?
Right,
you know, without giving it that 5, like, you know, count 10, think about it, maybe, you know, relook at her situation. And then I think you went back in, because after that I left it, and then, you know, and then I went back in, and then you explained your situation, and then my first thing was to apologize. You know, because I prejudge something, you know, and without showing compassion. And that's something that I felt really affected, you know, and I'm sure it affected you when people, you know, started saying things.
It did, but because I realized I left out a portion of the in-betweens where I personally wanted it to be a secret. I mean, I didn't want to publicly tell people that I'm going for a medical checkup.
Yeah.
So I was hurt. I mean, I was annoyed. Sorry, I was annoyed with some people who DM me. But then I realized it's your fault, because they are seeing what you post. They don't know the in-betweens, because you chose to leave that part out. So then I'm like, yalah, kau bodoh kan, Daphne, pada muka kau. Like that.
But you know, yeah, no. So I knew that, you know, when you explained, I think in a video after that, you explained, and I knew that it was responsible of me, you know. I mean, because I had that thought, and I knew that it wouldn't sit well with me if I didn't apologize.
Oh,
so as much as it would have affected you,
right?
But it really did also, you know, sort of like poke at me and say like, hey, you thought that, you know. I didn't do anything. I didn't message you to say how could you do that or whatever. I didn't, you know. But because I thought that, and as a friend, I felt that it was my responsibility to show compassion and apologize, because I know that, hey, you know, you're doing the best you could at that moment.
I love you. Yeah, well, that's what I said, because I left a big chunk. And it's just like what happened with a recent entrepreneur who was getting a lot of bashing, and she apologized, and we really don't know, well, I really don't know what is her full story, but I'm going to take it as face value as what she has said publicly over her social media, that this happened, this is my explanation, so let's move on, forgive me, I'm sorry, yada. But there are people who are still, even after the second video, which explains it all, which was a recent one that was, I think it was 2 days ago, that she posted saying, this is complete fitna, it's causing me a petition that's getting 300 people to sign me out of this board. And it just made me realize that no matter what you do, whatever you explain, there will be haters who will be haters. That's just how it is, you know, and that's her. She's got like such a huge following. The same goes for the ministry. You know, when we discussed this also very quickly about how the first poster about putting on makeup and stuff, I know where they're coming from, because I am a work from home mom. And sometimes it's very easy for me to just work with my pajamas, and then I get a little bit malas. So I actually make an effort to dress up a little bit, to look at least half decent waist up lah. So when I talk, when I Skype to my telecon with my clients and stuff, don't nampak. I look presentable. Even when I do VOs, and they probably can't really see me, they probably just see most of Joe because he's handling.
Yeah.
I still make an effort to look presentable because they are my clients. So I understand where the ministry is coming from. It was just the second part, where the nagging part and the sexist tone of the whole poster that got me a bit, tak boleh defend lah. Macam mana nak defend pun tak boleh. Susah. And I think that's why, again, it took me a while to bite my tongue, not to be jumping on the bandwagon of going on Twitter and going, oh, stuff like Azim, oh my God. It was just so easy for them to get this bashing, because the deputy minister recently also had mentioned something about child marriage and stuff like that. So it was like what happened with the entrepreneur. It was already something that, it was a simmering thing, you know what I mean? And I decided, instead of jumping onto the bandwagon of that, I read some tweets where they said, instead of doing this, we maybe, these are some of the suggestions, messaging campaigns that the ministry can look into. And that was more productive. Instead of just, Koni bodoh lah, la 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 la. Here are the messaging that we need. Domestic abuse, da 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 da, A, B, C, D, E. And that's more productive, that's more constructive. And they are probably up to here trying to deal with this pandemic, with the new government, getting to know a new whole group of people altogether, people probably disliking them,
So, I'm glad I have someone on the same wavelength as me.
Yeah.
Because I was, of course, there were things that were laughable. Yes, we cannot deny some of the issues that they will put up that became very international news. So, but I felt that when people started mocking it, that was not helpful.
It was not helpful. What are you going to do about it?
I just felt the mocking just gave more content for us to be inconsiderate.
Yeah.
So, I laugh at some of the jokes. Yes, of course, some of them were funny. But, my stance was, I didn't share. And if I did share, it was more like a question in the start of it, before everyone started mocking it. I don't know, a lot of people may not agree with me, because a lot of people have, made, parodies and videos of it. But I feel that, how do we help them?
Yeah.
How do we help them? Yeah, what can we do? Maybe they're not aware, maybe they're not aware. Maybe we need to help. Maybe we need to point out or look at it from a different angle, right? So how do we show compassion? It doesn't matter, the thing was done. You can't change that. It's done. So now I feel like as Malaysian women, how do we help?
Yeah.
How do we put the right messaging out there? We all knew that it was lost in translation lah. We knew lah, it was lost in translation, wrong terms used, maybe got some, mata editor spelling mistake, salah word. Tapi tak apa, we are open for us. We are open, and I would love for us, Malaysian women, to share how we can help. AB, is that you? Sorry, I'm so distracted. Because AB just wrote something really
Abby just wrote, maybe we need to give government official classes on researching and publishing better content. I think I remember when YB Puan Hannah Yeoh was the deputy minister. I can only say this because I've had my encounters with her. And she was doing all that she could for her ministry. But even then, there were one or two posters that came up from her own ministry that she was not aware of. And people would say, how can you not be aware? You're the minister, ma. But that's just how it is, because you have to understand that there are different departments under her wing. and that she can't be like, oh, she's officiating this, she's doing that, she's got a million things to do. So she's entrusting that particular head of department to be able to convey or do what is supposed to be done. And that's when I became more compassionate. I'm like, Yala, because of course I've got that platform, that luxury, that privilege of being able to just WhatsApp her directly, like, dude, of course I didn't call her dude lah. I call her like, Baby, macam ni, macam mana ni, you know, people.
No,
I know, and she immediately got that poster out. It was something about Zina, you know, because I wanted to, you know, the messaging. So
bear in mind,
things like that. Yeah.
Bear in mind, the government is not just talking to one kelompok of people. They are talking to mass,
diverse people who each have their own wants and needs.
Yeah. So you know, I think we need to put positive notes out there. I think a couple of women's organizations came out with their own poster instantly instead of, I mean, one or two did nudge, you know, with a poster or two, but a lot of them then came out with sort of like, maybe this would work better.
Right.
You know, but then again, I want to just put out positivity. I don't want to feel like we need to bash people.
I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah. And pasal yang you brought up, pasal entrepreneur too, I honestly, I did not follow, you know.
I've no time.
I'm sorry.
Are you busier than ever? I'm busier now.
Okay, maybe you are busier because I'm quite
your kids are teenagers.
I've got teenagers, so
and they know how to wash their own plates.
Or that one needs to be asked to do, but they do it. Yes. Yeah. So I mean, that's again like our intention. Going back to our intention, right? You know, how do we set a good intention when we want to empower, encourage, you know, people who are in powerful position to put out messages that are positive, that are non-biased. I mean, and how do you say that? Inclusive.
Nice.
Yeah. Because I think the messages were lost in translation and a lot of people terasa because it felt not inclusive.
Faham.
It felt like it was directed to just the women.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like if it was more inclusive, there would be a little bit more love. Yeah. So I mean, you know, so I remember we've done so many interviews together. I think you were one of my biggest hangout with her. Well, my first one, I think, my biggest supporter.
That's right.
Yeah, you were the first guest for my hangout with her. Well, and we spoke about how to deal with reporting child abuse, if you remember that.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, yeah. That was a heavy topic. It goes back to, I remember when the MCO, RMO, staying safe at home first started, they wanted to get a bunch of celebs or personalities to use their platforms to tell people to stay at home. And whilst it's so easy for us to say that, at the same time, because I'm working on the ground with all these other advocates and other activists, and I know what's happening, it's just child abuse is on the rise because of this, and we forget about the sexual offenders. And that's where I'm like, how do I do this? Because there's also that kelompok of people who don't want to be staying at home, who are not comfortable staying at home. So that's where compassion again comes in, because it's so easy. Even for me, my pool is closed, my gym is closed, but we've got other celebs there who has a private pool, a private gym, everything's fine. So it's easy for them to just say, "Duduk lah rumah, best apa?" No. You know, for me, where I'm like mid-income, whatever, I'm okay, I'm alright. You know, but itu pun macam, how to jaga my anak, this one a bit tiring. Can you imagine those in the lower income bracket? Or those who can't shop for a week, a grocery. Like I can shop for 2 weeks. Okay, then I'm done. I don't have to go out anymore. For 2 weeks, I'm done. I've got all my groceries here because I have a little bit of extra to last me for that long. those people don't tak ada pun makanan. I just go and bagi ayam dekat my guard house, my guard people.
Yeah.
And they were like so like because my husband bought the ayam that not organic. You see, first world problem. Bukan organic punya ayam. And I'm like, this
Okay,
one got a lot of fats. Faham tak? And I said, but I don't want to waste it. I will pass it to the guards. And they were like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you for this ayam.
Right, but that's the thing. I mean, I also feel sometimes that, not that I feel it sometimes, I feel it all the time that where we are in the position we're in, how do we help those, How do we help the people on the streets? The people that are living 10 people in a flat.
Who
I'm
might
not
not necessarily like each other because they rent a place.
Yeah. And, so, I mean, I'm open to anyone out there for you to have any suggestions, and we will share it with the right people, to help others. Because if this is one way that we can get word out that a lot of people, the ones living in abusive homes, the ones that don't have enough income, the ones that are looking for, yes, AB, you reminded us, Kita Jaga Kita is a platform where you can get a lot of the information of those NGOs helping others.
Yeah.
But think about it this way. It's always easier said than done sometimes, right? I'm not going to say that these people are doing better or should not complain because this and that. You don't know what people are feeling at home or in their minds or how their mental health is going. So have a bit more compassion out there. I feel that it doesn't matter what, if you can help, help.
Help.
Yeah. If
in
it
whatever
means
capacity.
sharing, if it means sharing a post, share.
Yeah.
If you can click one heart shape or you can click one comment, you can just click share lah, right? And I think, sometimes like somebody just said, really lights up people's day, a little act of kindness. That one, time and time again, I have seen it happen in my life, and I have experienced it, and I really, really hope that more people do that. Sometimes it's really just saying good morning to someone.
Yep.
Because you never know if that person's just really had a bad night or a bad day or anything like that.
Had suicidal thoughts.
Yeah,
no one cares for me. No one notices me. And then Eena says, good morning. Hey, wait, that lady just said hello to me. Maybe I do matter. I'm not going to kill myself. You never know. That's some of the input that I get from befrienders, Yeah. Yeah.
So I really think, even like just asking someone, how was your day? A lot of people, someone reminded me saying, oh, Eena, frontliners are not just the nurses and the doctors, the people that are going out to keep our banks open, the grocery person, the garbage collector, the grass cutter that still cuts the grass in my area. I'm surprised, but, these people are all the people. Another thing is parents. Also frontliners for this moment, I feel. Because, they've had to hold it together at home, so sometimes it really is just saying good morning, asking someone, how are you? Like, I stood in the line at the grocery recently for half an hour. And inside I was thinking, oh my God, lamanya. But as I got to the counter and I looked at the cashier, and it dawned on me that, oh my God, how can I even question and complain about standing in the line for half an hour?
Oh my God, you're right. The cashier doesn't sit down at all. Most of them,
This girl has been working for hours.
You're right. That's a good observation, yeah.
And I look and she was just looking down and packing the groceries. I looked at her and said, Dad, how are you? How have you been? And she actually looked up and said, oh, okay Kak, macam biasa lah, But that's it. It really, sometimes you forget. We forget sometimes. We take for granted. Yeah. Nida said, send silent prayer to strangers, to those tukang buang sampah and potong rambut. Rambut pula.
Potong rumput.
Rumput. Potong rambut tak buka, sorry.
I was talking to Lisa Suryani. Every day we're talking, right? And she told me, like, I cannot tahan my hair. So she wants to ask her helper to cut the hair. Helper dia tak berani, so dia suruh mak dia potong. I said, I have to watch this live. So the next day, she really does do a live, and she's cutting. The mother is cutting the hair lah. I'm like, and she says like, never mind lah, busuk. I'm wearing tudung apa. No one noticed. So I said, why don't you just wait then? She said, I can't tahan. We must dry the ends. So do what you can.
But yeah, you know, guys, you know, when you're out there, you know, buying groceries, already we can afford to go and buy groceries. Alhamdulillah. You know? So
just a quick one. Eena told me that she wanted to go buy groceries at XYZ. So we live quite nearby. And I actually asked her, and this is what community is all about. I said, hey, can you go and check for me a certain brand of bread? Is it there available? Because I want that particular brand of bread. And she messages me back like, banyak. 7-Eleven also got, Market also got, everything got. So I think that's what's lacking right now. We need to have
a sense of community.
Community. Yep.
Yeah. And when I say community, it's not like membawang each other punya community lah. I mean,
that's true.
You know,
I've got my girlfriend Nini here. Nini is saying a comment here. UN Women reports that 70% of the workers in the health front line are all women. So power to us women.
Yes. Thank you to all the women who are working. I mean, you know, I always remember what my daughter says. Women empowerment is one thing, but you have to be able to give men a voice. This coming from my daughter who's 12. Yeah, so...
That is that. Anak kau ni ada deep skate. Level dia up skate.
So, you know, I'm sure there are men out there who are also helping their wives at home, doing the best they can. You know, I mean, I'm glad that, you know, couples are learning from each other and persevering through and having compassion towards each other.
And that's why it goes back to that second poster of the ministry, the women's ministry, where they said, don't nag your husbands. The whole mess, I could see where it was coming from, because again, as someone who works from home with my business partner, who is also my husband, my first 2 years doing that with him, kita orang dah berapa kali nak macam, aku nak divorce lah, nak cerai lah. It was really trying for us. But course, still love kan, still got commitments, still got children, you know, and all that thing. So I understand where it comes from, because there's that constant, you're always so. But I've learned to manage.
It's practice.
It's by practice. I've got 10 years. So some of these ladies and gentlemen out there who are confined, staying safe at home right now, and having only one person to go grocery shopping, which normally that job lands to the husband, who may not be familiar, and we laugh about it, but it's true. Not many husbands are familiar with all these. I mean, we laugh about it, betul kan? I mean, like, takkan dia tak tahu this sayur, but there are some men who really don't know what's what.
Alah, but Daphne, I pun tak kenal sam sayur, okay? So, tak boleh lah take for granted that men sahaja yang tak tahu. Kadang-kadang women also tak tahu.
Actually, you're right in that sense, because my husband is the person who always gets me to get the ulam and stuff. And for me, ulam is just whatever ulam that I know what ulam. And it's a different type of ulam. So he has to take pictures for me to say, okay, get this. And then Dalla, he puts it in Malay, and I'm like, what's the English version of it? Because, you know, and I have to Google it. Of course,
English version will come up too scientific. The English word nanti too scientific when you just ulam. When it's just ulam raja, and then you're looking for some scientific name.
Ulam raja. He said the one like this, like that. But that's just it. You're right. You are right about that. But yeah, and it goes back to, again, experience, practice, and having been through it. So maybe a lot of women out there haven't gone through staying safe at home with the husbands for such a long time. that is getting to it. And that's where the ministry said, don't nag at your husband. Of course. Again,
Kenapa dia tak consider kalau ada husband yang nag dekat isteri dia?
macam laki aku lah. Tengok dia merajuk. Merajuk because his Skype doesn't work. Tak.
So, I mean, you know, I really hope, we said half an hour, we've gone way beyond as usual.
That's the thing about us. The last time we met up, just before the MCO or the RMO, sekejap je babe, sekejap je. How long did we last at that place? Ayo.
Yes. I was called home for curfew.
Yes, itu pun kena paksa rumah. Like, Mommy, are you still there? Yes, I'm still with Auntie Daphne. Anyway, I really hope this was fruitful to...
Yeah, guys. I mean, really, we are blessed to be, one, safe at home. That's all, you know. Say a prayer for those who are at home but struggling. I think a lot of people may be struggling. I'm not saying that there's people, I mean, I'm not
everyone
saying
has their own struggles. Let's just put it.
Yeah, everyone has their own
struggles. From the T20s
struggles.
to the B40s, everyone has their own struggles.
So let's just spread love and have compassion and be positive and, you know, doa, as what they always say, the hashtag doa baik-baik.
Doa baik-baik, husonon. Husonon. I don't know how to pronounce it, man. Abby, cuba sikit. Apa? It starts with H lah, the husonon. Like bersangka baik.
Oh, husnuzun lah.
Oh, husnuzun. Sorry.
I think so. Wait, I think so.
Hey, we're both in blue, huh?
Oh yeah.
I've been wearing a lot of blue during this RMO. I just happen to always go back to my blue outfits. I need to find out why is that. Because when I was choosing my outfit for today, because I specifically and then I said, hey, is it because I've been seeing the IG, you know, our hangout is her world.
Why you think your otak already algorithm you, is it?
Tak tahu lah, I don't know. But you know, I'm like, why am I always in blue of late? And
so, you know, please everyone tonight say a prayer for all your friends, family. There's so many people who are, you know, say a prayer for yourself. One thing that I learned when I went for Umrah, I'm just going to give a little insight that I went for Umrah, and you know, it was such a struggle for me to get in the zone when I was there, like into the spiritual zone. But what I took home, because the day I left, one thing I did for myself, I forgave myself. And I think that's something that Professor Mohaya reminded me this morning when I watched her on Angelita, was that take a moment to forgive yourself. I think we judge ourselves the most.
We are our worst critic.
Yeah, as much as we worry about what other people say, but sebenarnya I pun dah taklah worry about other people say what about me, right? But I had to forgive myself, and I learned to forgive myself. So guys, take a moment, self-reflect, forgive yourself for all your mistakes that you've accidentally done unintentionally, you know, intentionally also, you know. Go easy on yourself, guys. Right now, it's the time to just love and be thankful, have gratitude, and please be compassionate. Anyone you meet, even if it's someone that is annoying you or something like that, please have compassion for that person, you know? And really, really take a moment tonight. Forgive yourself. I think it's really hard for us to forgive ourselves. So please do that.
I love it. I love how you ended this. Nice.
So I'm going to end here before Daphne and I never stop talking.
Thank you all for joining us in this.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining.
I've said we are going to go live on YouTube too. That's not taking place, but I will be going live in just a bit on another guest. So do join me on my YouTube channel. In the meantime, thanks, Eena. Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me hang out with you. I love you. At least I
I
got,
love you
it's so
too.
important to connect with your friends, by the way, even if it's
Yes.
this way. I think that's so
Yeah.
important. So thank
I
you.
have
I
so
love
many
you. I love you.
chats going.
Yeah. I don't know how to end this though. How do you, oh, because it ends on your side, right?
Yeah, it ends on my side.
Sorry.
Thank
First
you,
time buyer.
Sayang, for joining. Thank you so much. Love you. Love to
Bye.
Joe.
Bye,
Cakap Joe,
everyone.
jangan
Thank you for
berajuk.
the love. See ya. Titi tata
Okay,
tutu.
bye. Okay, guys.
How to off
Before I
this?
end, I just want to remind you. I will off. You can
Oh,
end
you will
also.
off.
I
Okay, okay.
I just want to say that New You Malaysia also is going live at 5
okay.
o'clock. So if you want to watch something, please do tune in to New You Malaysia. You can rewatch the lives for Majalah Jelita, Harper's Berzamai, and Clio Malaysia as well. The lives are still there for 24 hours. Thank you for joining. Thank you for hanging out with us. Peace. Spread love. Have the best intentions at heart, everyone. And just be compassionate because that's all we need right now. It's in us. As my son said, it's human nature. We have it in us. Love you guys. Bye.